A very welcome back to Furniture Flipping Rush. Chantal here with 2 instant regret pieces. Me being new to furniture flipping, I jumped at the opportunity to buy these guys, as they only sold for 500 Rand, $32 for both. Here in Cape Town, we do not just pick up free stuff off of the curb. So when you see cheap pieces on Facebook Market, you grab them. I did not even stop to ask what wood it is. So when I picked it up, I realized it was made out of MDF. Instant regrets started to set in as I drove off with them. But the creative voice in me said, you must just make them so cute for someone to want them. I was not even sure if I was going to post this video. I'll have you know I did sell them, but it was at a loss. Yes, this is a channel about making a profit off of furniture flipping. You are watching the right channel. I just wanted you to see this can happen. I sold them to the first person who wanted them. She was not going to pay the 700 Rand, $45 each I wanted for them. And on the spot, I decided to give her a discount of 150 Rand, $10 each. Because I just wanted to get my money back to buy my next piece, I was just relieved somebody took them. To find out what else led to this loss, keep watching. Because these bedside tables are made out of MDF, medium density fiberboard, I won't be using water to clean them. I'll be using a microfiber cloth. The reason for this is I am worried about water damage. And one of the bedside tables already have water damage on the top, and I need to sand that down before I apply my primer. But first, let's remove the hardware. Here you can see the water damage I'm sanding down. I'm scuff sanding the pieces for the paint to have a rough surface to stick to. I do not want to get primer or paint on this fabric, so I'm using a masking tape to cover it. To save product, I cover the back of the drawers. No one sees it anyway. I use wood filler to close up the old handle holes, because I will be adding new handles. I'm using Zinsser's Bullseye 123 primer for all the surfaces. This is the oil-based one. Normally I would use the Zinsser water-based primer, but because I'm working with MDF, I was worried that the wood would get water damage if I use a water-based primer on it. In normal circumstances, you do not need to apply so many layers of primer. I just wanted to make sure I seal the wood properly. Little did I know how much of the product I'll need to get the seal I was after. And here comes the rain. We often have 4 seasons in one day in Cape Town.
Three spray bottles later.
And still not done priming the pieces. Always ask yourself how much product you will need before you commit buying a piece, because this will determine how much profit you make. Because I've never worked with a spray primer before, I initially thought that one can would be enough. Now that I've run out of spray primer, to finish the job, I started using what I had on hand, also an oil-based paint. You always want to apply your primer in thin layers. Rather do more layers than applying one thick layer. The thick layer will not dry fast and it will just end up looking ugly. Here I'm using turpentine to thin my oil-based paint by just dipping my brush into it every now and then. While the paint is drying, I sand down the wood filler on the drawers and give them a scuff sand to prepare for the primer. Let's take a quick break and feed these guys. I finished 2 coats of primer on all the pieces and they are all dry now. Unfortunately, I had to use the enamel paint because I ran out of the spray primer. Unfortunately, at this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to break even or make a profit on this project because I miscalculated how much product I will need to do this project. We'll definitely see if the primer worked for the waterproofing. I'm going to go ahead and do my first coat of paint. I'm using a light grey. I promise you that not all my projects will be grey or white. It is said that painting pieces in a neutral color sells faster. So far, it's worked well for me. Again, I'm applying thin layers of paint to ensure quicker drying time and making sure I end with a one direction stroke for an even finish. I'm looking forward to show you what I'm going to do to the inside of the drawers. I completed 3 layers of paint which I finished off camera. I chose a matte water-based top coat and I applied 3 coats. And now for my favorite part of this project. I evenly spread decoupage glue on the bottom of the drawers. and I gently place my fabric that is slightly bigger than the drawer over it and press it down into place. I use an X-Acto knife to trim the sides. Make sure you're using a sharp blade for this. Adding gorgeous new handles and doing final touches with gold to complement the handles. Let's take one last look at the before the revealing rush. In the end, I was very happy with the end result. Too bad about the loss I made. I hope you can learn from my mistake and avoid it. See you next time. Bye! This is getting too long. Okay. I promise you that not all my projects will be grey or white. I promise you